Well, I certainly hope that this is the right place. When you're deceased and told that you're to meet over Zoom, that doesn't seem like the clearest of instructions or directions. I was simply told that I'd be meeting a big fan named Carol, but I appear to be here all alone. Hello, Carol. Well, hello, Carol. It'd be nice if you'd show up since I am here. I am waiting, Carol, anticipating, Carol. Anyway, how any day now, any time this year.
Carol? Is that you?
My friend, Carol Burnett, how lovely to see you.
I wasn't expecting to see you here.
Well, just because I'm dead doesn't mean that I can't participate.
No. Oh, well, of course not. You're too much fun, and it wouldn't be a party of carols without you being here.
Excuse me. Hello? Oh my goodness, Carol and Carol! I cannot believe it! We're all together in the same Zoom!
Carol Kane! You tiny, funny broad! How wonderful to see you!
Likewise, Miss Burnett, the pleasure is all mine to see you and resurrected Carol Channing. This is gonna be such a gathering.
Ladies, hi! I'm sorry I'm late. Thank you for joining me. I'm delighted to see the three of you schmoozing. That's great. Having y'all here is it's such an honor and a privilege, and honestly, a little bit terrifying.
Terrifying? Why? Carols stick together. Through thick and thin.
I'm so glad we have this time together. Oh, Carol, that's usually sung at the end, but this is the beginning. I mean, don't get me wrong. I am aching just to have a laugh or sing a song with three women whom I've admired since I was young. I mean, to have Channing, Burnett, and Kane together with me in one space, I mean, holy shit! It is a big deal. But getting right down to brass tacks, I have convened the Carol's Caucus because I need your help, your wisdom, and your humor.
Might I suggest a glitzier title? What about a convivial chorus of carols? I like the sound of that better, and I know a thing or two about pleasing an audience, so trust me on this.
Well, that's a passable title, I suppose, although it sounds a little garrulous.
Carolish?
Flatulent.
Well, I beg your pardon.
If it were my show, and I know a thing or two about having my own show for 11 seasons, I would be inclined to title it A Colorful Collage of Carols. given our immense repertoire.
And I'm the one who's long-winded. Actually, I like the title A Cornucopia of Carols. I like that word. It's very unique and it's not used very often. I think you should use that, in my opinion. And I'm also the only one in the group who's ever been nominated for a Best Actress Oscar. Well, which title do you like best, dear?
I love them all. They're all equally brilliant, but I had actually kind of already come up with the title in Carol's Comedic Care. We could play this game for hours because, God, I love the letter C and never thought I would ever say that. But onto the subject matter at hand. I'm in a place now where I feel like I have more strength to deal with something that happened when I was in undergrad. It took over 18 years after I graduated with my Bachelor of Fine Arts in Drama from New York University's Tisch School of the Arts before I had a formal diagnosis. You see, I thought that PTSD or post-traumatic stress disorder was only for soldiers who fought in combat. I thought it was only for people who suffered an unimaginable event or tremendous amount of grief. I had no idea that my situation applied.
Well, what do you mean, your situation, dear?
My situation. I'm not really sure how best to accurately describe several years of verbal abuse and manipulation. The creative art form that had brought me so much joy became a source of despair and destruction. In a nutshell, my theater training so heavily traumatized me that it gave me PTSD and I didn't even know it. And what I can say about PTSD, or what I sarcastically like to joke about my PTSD, is that it's the gift that keeps on giving because it's always there under the surface and it never goes away. You know how people often say that they have no regrets in life and that they wouldn't change anything because everything that's happened just makes them stronger and it makes them exactly who they are? Yeah, I'm not one of those people. I would absolutely change undergrad if I could. Mind you, not the friendships that I made, but I would absolutely change the bullshit that happened. I want it cleansed.
Could I hypnotize you? Please, please. It might make you feel better to be able to talk about it and relieve some of the anxiety in a very safe environment. And with the three of us there, we could help you.
You know, she's right. Us Carols know a thing or two about the business, but before you let her hypnotize you, I would like to share a cleansing experience of my own that happened on a plane going to New York. See, I had been cast in a movie called The Front Page with Jack Lemmon, Walter Matthau, and directed by the great Billy Wilder. And let's just say that I was awful in this movie. I didn't have the self-assurance needed to play the character of Molly Malloy, and I knew it. And here they are playing this movie on a plane. And I'm like, ugh. And at the end of the movie, I got up from my seat and I asked the flight attendant if I could make an announcement to everybody. And she said yes. And I said, I am so sorry for that performance. And wouldn't you know, they all started clapping and laughing. And in that act of apology, I felt cleansed. I'm talking about a different kind of cleansing. I prefer a bleaching, similar to what Carol Channing has done to her hair all these years. I want it applied to my brain.
Well, while your circumstances are your own, part of being a Carol means helping a Carol. Believe me, my dear, I appreciate what you're doing and sharing, because I learned long ago that imitation is the sincerest form of flattery.
You know, I really agree with those sentiments, Carol. And let's be honest, only a Carol can play a Carol. And I guess once you hypnotize me, what you're going to see is an 18 to 22-year-old pleaser who never got into confrontations with people in positions of power. Oh, you mean like your teachers? That's the Texas Southern upbringing. Me too. I understand. Until undergrad, I never had teachers that viewed me as anything other than a promising student. But then I get placed in the wrong studio at Tisch.
So, where were you?
In the experimental theater wing, ETW. And sometimes saying it out loud, it sounds more like a psych ward than it does a theater training modality.
Well, then let's go there, and if a memory gets too painful, you can say humpadink 3 times quickly, and you'll be back here with us in the present day.
Shit, that's genius.
But this would not be the first time that I have been told that. Let me get something. Here, pendulum. You can look at this, and you can listen to the sound of my voice. I want you to take several deep breaths, and with each breath, you're going to find yourself relaxing more and more. You are in a safe place with Carol, and me. When you are ready, you are going to find yourself back at age 18 in the classroom with the very first teacher who contributed to your PTSD. We are there with you. And if at any time you need a specific one of us, just ask. Breathe. 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 Where are you?
I'm in the classroom.
Who's there with you?
My freshman classmates and my second acting teacher. She's there too.
What's her name?
Her name is Catherine. Catherine's her name, and I knew right away that she wasn't going to hold a candle to Saskia, who was my first acting teacher.
Can you tell me what you're doing?
So we're doing contact improvisation. It's a form of dance that I had never seen before. It's actually quite beautiful. It's where people are in constant contact with each other, whether it's elbow to elbow, hand to hand, or foot to foot. It's really kind of badass, and I'm pretty stoked that I am learning and know how to do this.
Is Catherine saying something to you?
Yeah, she's telling all of us that she wants us to release on sound.
I'm sorry. Release on what?
She wants us to release on sound. And as my classmates are dancing and moving and touching each other, they're groaning and moving and ruining, in my opinion, what is otherwise really soft and delicate work. And Catherine wants me to start vocalizing. And all I'm thinking to myself is, this isn't sex. Well, after several classes, Catherine's frustration towards me grows and grows. And not just because of the contact improvisation, but also because of scene work. And after a while, I get the feeling that my very existence in her class is no longer welcome, until one day she asks to see me after class. She looks me right in the eyes and says, "I get the feeling you don't like me very much."
And what was your reply?
As scared as I was, and as much as my heart was racing, I looked her straight back in the eye and said, "I get the exact same feeling from you."
Let me guess. That was not well received.
Oh my God. She started screaming at me. Screaming. I blocked it out because I had never had a teacher scream at me before. She informed me that I was uncooperative, uncommitted, and difficult. Obviously, she needed to release on some sound, and I was the receptacle. Oh, Carol. Had I been with you then, I know 2 ways that we could have shut Catherine up. How? Well, the first thing is I probably would have told her the same thing that I told Cary Grant the first time that I met him. You are a credit to your profession. Oh my God. She would have been fuming if I told her that. But what's the second thing? Oh, the second thing. Well, I would have obliged her with a bona fide release on sound. That goes something like this.
And on that note, I'm going to bring you back to your present day self. 5. You are leaving your past behind you. 4. You are becoming more aware of your surroundings. 3. You're getting more aware of the sensations in your body. 2. Your breath is dropping more into your diaphragm. 1. You are going to open your eyes and you're going to see us again. 0.
Two things. Number one, Carol B. Had I done that Tarzan call in Catherine's class, I think I would have been removed for the duration of the semester. And I so wish to God I had thought of that. Well, you do have to admit that it is a bona fide release on sound. Oh God, I do admit it to everyone, past and present. And the second thing, Carol K., you might have a second calling in hypnotherapy. I'm just saying.